station, about to go to London. I don't know, Preston train station. But I've practiced vlogging, seeing as it's now my job to be a vlogger. I've not actually made any proper ones for the videos yet. I've just been like sat down talking to a camera, which that's fine. Got used to that pretty quickly. Taken a few attempts, but got there in the end. But now for practice, just talking to a camera in a public place like a weirdo. As you do. And I'm going to start reading some of my history notes now because I go back to college in like a couple days. I'm not prepared now. There we go. Just got to Euston now. Probably can't even hear me because it's like packed in here and the loudspeakers go. Yeah, I've tried doing some history reading on the train. I had like 2 pages, then felt a bit like, oh, don't do that great with travel, so put that away and rested my eyes. Didn't actually fall asleep though, so didn't nearly miss my stop run. But yeah, just gonna go into Euston now and out. It's really scary when you see people stood around with guns. Just come out of Euston Station now, walking over to Euston Square. And I went to speak to a couple of the information people in there because I have to do a radio interview tonight that was rescheduled from yesterday because, you know, more breaking news than little old me. So that's been rescheduled for tonight, 20 minutes before I have to catch a train from Euston, which is like very busy, obviously, at 20 to 6 tonight. So they don't think there's anywhere quiet. I didn't think there'd be anywhere quiet. Don't really know what I'm going to do, so that'll be interesting, but who knows? Might do a quick little outfit of the day whilst we're walking along, as you do. Wearing like a florally top, not a lot else to say on that. Denim midi skirt, which is basically like walking with your knees tied together. It's driving me slightly mad. Might regret that later. And don't know if you can see that there, but black boots that are my trusty little ankle boots. So some guy just gave up, that'd be really funny. It's busy, it has been lots of times actually. Done it a few times now, so kind of know where I'm going. It's like, yeah, I know this one route, I don't know anywhere else in London, that's all. But yeah, just making my way across. Oh, I forgot to explain what I'm actually doing. I spend like 1 day in London a week as, well, I'm an ambassador for Tomorrow's Engineers. So making videos, doing vlogs, interviews, all that kind of thing, so just more vlogging practice the better really. And yeah, so I think I'm doing phone. And that was me dropping my coat on the floor. That's some good news. Yeah, so today I think I'm doing an interview with something about, oh, I can't actually remember, I need to check my email. Something at lunchtime, apparently. Don't know what I'm doing for the morning. Doing another radio interview tonight. Don't know what I'm doing. Walking along now. London town. Oh, nearly got wiped out by a cyclist. I was going to vlog on the tube too, it was absolutely like, oh, and a taxi! Right, now we can cross the road. I'm good. Yeah, I was going to vlog on the tube, but it's literally deadly silent. I was sat between 2 women, both just like looking at the phones or reading a book or whatever. No one speaks. I've got a blog post that's just gone up now actually about that, like an hour ago, that I wrote on the train home last week after I've been talking to this random guy. We've just been having a nice chat and both saying like it's nice to talk to people, whether you know them or not. And yeah, saying how no one really does that in London as much anyway, so my thoughts on all that kind of thing on the blog, I will link it down below because that's what you do, these YouTube things. And we're here at the office. My skirt's already driving me mad after like a 20-minute walk because it keeps riding up. But yeah, I made it to the office. I was so proud of myself the first time I made it. Yeah, go back and the stairs. I was so proud of myself the first time I made it here. But it's just kind of normal now. And people think I'm strange, but you know, my job is to vlog, so I'm practicing. I'm vlogging being a vlogger, which is kind of weird. Vlogception. And I'm whispering now. I don't know if you'll be able to hear me. Might talk a bit louder now because no one's around. Yeah, never mind. Also, I don't know if front camera's any good, but it's just a novelty actually being able to see myself, so I now need to use my other hand. Bye bye. Intro to vlog. It helps if you turn it on video with Monica.
Hello.
Hello. And Matt, is he hiding?
Hello.
Going out for a little lunch break. Where are we going?
Exmouth Market.
Exmouth Market. I think that's where we went last time, isn't it?
Yeah.
It was really drizzly and rainy and grim last time, but
Horrible.
hopefully it'll look a bit nicer. Yeah, being recommended these places. What have we been doing today? Had an interview on the phone with, who was it with? I'll cut this bit out. I forgot. Who was it with? Oh, it was that with Uni is Not For Me, which is an online website thingy. And what are we doing this afternoon? More contact
vlogging.
people, vlogging.
Let's contact
Getting on with it.
Getting amazing people on board. Yeah.
Videoing now with just this little stall. What is it? Ghana food? Ghana? Yeah. Trying out some samples of this before buying anything. Didn't film that. Attempt number 2. Actually press go this time. At a Ghanaian food stall in Exmouth Market. Back here now, lunchtime. And I found some little banana things. Well, I thought it was banana. Right.
Nothing.
That's what it's called, apparently. Hello again, just finished a day doing lots of emails and organising things and sorting things out. Coming up with some exciting plans and stuff. Just making my way up to the tube station now, quite early because I have this radio interview in like an hour. I've got to find somewhere quiet, which I really don't fancy my chances of doing. Don't think I'm going to find anywhere quiet, but we'll see. Hopefully I won't say anything really stupid either, or crash into anyone. It still takes me a good 10 minutes to actually find my way out of, well, maybe not 10 minutes, but like, it takes me a while to find my way out. I get lost. Change of plan. I'm not going to go and find a place in Euston Station because that just won't happen. So I've come to the Welcome Collection, which is where we went for like our introductory lunch to meet everyone. It's quite a fancy like restaurant type thing here, but there's also a cool reading room area which will hopefully be quiet, and it's right opposite Euston Station, so that's where I'm headed now. Hopefully going to find somewhere I can set up for the radio interview. I didn't walk up enough flights of stairs, nearly walked into a museum. That's not what I need. It's a pretty cool place, trying to give a look. Don't think this front camera thing's really working. Hello again. So a continuation of yesterday's vlog. I'll try not to rock on this chair. Yeah, got cut short yesterday because I was all ready in this Welcome Collection place, ready to do my interview on the radio. Got there early and everything, which is surprising for me. So I was all set up with my notes around me, my phone out, ready to dial them, and all was all ready. Going fine. And then like 2 minutes before I was due to be live, no hear from them. And one sec, other shouting, resume. Where was I? Yeah, so I was all ready and then I still hadn't heard from them, so I called and they were like, yeah, we've just had some things come up, some stories that we're running, and we're running a little bit late, but I had a train to catch, like, my train was at 5:57 and this was at like 20 to 6, something like that, so I had like 15 minutes. And I knew I was only over the road, and they said they were going to ring again in like 3 minutes, so I thought, right, this will be okay, but cutting it fine, but it'll be okay. So when it got to 1:45, still hadn't heard from them. thought, can't chance this if they ring now, and then I can't like pack my bags and everything whilst I'm talking, so I'm going to have to go to Euston, which is obviously pretty big, not exactly quiet, but I'm just going to have to do the interview from there. So I ran over to Euston with my phone in my hand, ready to do this interview. Still didn't hear from them, and then they finally called just as I was running down to the platform. But at Euston, you're not allowed to just get on the train, you have to go through the security. So I was on the phone with the phone like on my ear as they were saying, right, we're going to be on air in 30 seconds. So I had the phone here on air in 30 seconds as the security guy was telling me like, oh, I need to see your rail card, I need to see this. So trying to do both conversations, fumble around, get my rail card out, and then run onto the train where they finally came on air as I got on the train. So I was in the like carriage, not the carriage, in the doorway between the two carriages, talking on the radio. Hopefully didn't make too much of an idiot of myself. And the presenter, he must have read something wrong or something like that, because he said I was 20, so I'm now 3 years older than I actually am, and that I'd won the opportunity to be a vlogger, which I hadn't. It wasn't a competition, it was a job that I had to apply for and do an interview and everything like any normal job. So I don't know where we got that from, but oh well, these things happen, and that's why you don't believe everything you see in the news, guys. Yeah, so today's been a bit more chilled, just working from home today. Been writing a blog post that I've been asked to do for the Huffington Post, which is very exciting. Yeah, so writing all about like STEM and my thoughts on science and stuff, and obviously talking about what we're doing as tomorrow's engineers, so writing it as a vlogger. And yeah, and then I saw this article on The Independent this morning titled, got it open in front of me, not looking at the floor. Scrolling down. Sexist toys stop girls choosing to study sciences at school, says top academic, that's the title. So I was having a read of this because I'd already actually started making some notes for my post and talking about like how I've always been interested in making things, and I actually had noted down to talk about how I had Lego and Meccano and stuff like that, and then read this article and thought, oh, similar. So no plagiarism, but yeah, thought I'd share this. I'll put a link down below. That there was a quote saying, we need to change the way we think about boys and girls and what's appropriate for them from a very early age. Does choice of toys matter? I believe it does. That's a quote, and I thought, yeah, it does. And there was another bit a bit further down. Oh, where was it? It said something about the toys and stuff that we play with influencing A-level choices or the choices that you make later in life. I think that's definitely the case. That yeah, I wouldn't say, oh, my mum gave me Lego, therefore I took physics, but it's the fact that, yeah, given the opportunity to make things, or don't think Lego or anything's particularly boys, it's just gender neutral, which everything should be really. So yeah, I played with dolls and everything, but I also played with Meccano and I loved it. Loved my Meccano kit. Yeah, that was the quote. I know there are people who think that what children do at age 4 is irrelevant to their A-level choices, but I'm not so sure. Well said. And yeah, it talks about there being only a fifth of A-level physics students being girls, which is the case for my class. I don't know what it would be like when I go back in September, but in first year of A-levels there were, yeah, I can't remember exactly, but I definitely worked it out that it was a fifth. And yeah, I just think there's a lot of stuff in the press at the minute about this whole sexism in science, and yeah, that's obviously what we're trying to dispel. That's the myth we're trying to stop happening. Just reading a bit here where it says about a baccalaureate style education might be a better idea, because that would mean that we didn't have to make such big decisions about which subjects we wanted to do from a young age. And whilst yeah, that kind of could be a good idea, I'm not sure that I entirely agree with that. Like, 4 subjects, it's nice just doing 4 subjects now. I don't think I'd want to be doing more than that. Like, mine are quite a mixed bag anyway, but I wouldn't want to be doing so many subjects, and I think that'd put a lot of people off, because education would feel like, oh, this is a compulsory thing for so long. And obviously like now I'm doing A-levels, but you don't have to do A-levels. You could do BTEC, you could do apprenticeship, you could do various different things. So I think if we tried to force everyone into the same route, that wouldn't really have the desired effect, but it's a good idea that maybe we shouldn't be allowed to make our decisions quite so early, because then that just allows people to be influenced by the stereotypes and influenced by, oh, I should pick this. Like GCSE, my textiles class had one boy in it, my textiles class now has no boys in it. I'm not sure how well it would go down if it was compulsory, but who knows. Amazon and places are they're removing the terms boys and girls from their categories so that everything's just neutral, and there's a company called Let Toys Be Toys, which seems like a really good idea really. That I think I've been lucky in that my parents I wasn't like dressed in pink as a baby or anything like that. Well, I might have been sometimes, but I wasn't putting anything specifically, you are a girly girl and that is it. I was allowed to have girly things, I liked some of that stuff, but I also liked playing in the mud, and yeah, a lot of playing in the mud basically, being really outdoorsy and making things and pretty much everything. But yeah, my parents were really laid back about it, so I was lucky in that, and I suppose there's definitely some truth in how the toys that we play with and the things that we do when we're younger do influence us later in life. Like, I think I wrote about it in a blog post last year sometime, that my A-level choices now are definitely the things that I was interested in as a kid. That textiles, I've always loved making things and being really crafty, so that's probably a stereotypically girly thing. Well, it definitely is. And I remember having a little telescope as a kid and looking up at the stars, and I loved that. And maths, I don't really know what you can say maths a kid's interested in, other than I love doing puzzles and Sudokus. Geek, yeah. And history, yeah, I loved reading. I had a whole series of books that were like these they were called My Story, I think, and they were like diaries meant to be written by girls in various periods of history, but like as a sort of child's version. I didn't read hardcore history books at age 7 or something, but I really was interested in, I just liked reading things that were set in a different time. I found that really interesting, so I'm a good example of how your childhood interests are reflected later in life, and I think that's definitely true. Swapping arms because my left arm is really tired. Realised that I just basically filmed myself talking to a camera the whole time, and I don't know if it looks like I'm looking at the screen, because I am, but I'm now looking at the camera. Does that look better? Don't know. Just getting used to this vlogging thing, which I probably need to get used to quickly. Stop looking at Lily. Yeah, just film myself talking and doing things and responding to articles and stuff like that. As I apologise if I'm a bit waffly, so I'm going to leave that there. Got lots to crack on with today. A very long to-do list, so goodbye.